Hello. Looks like we are live. We will start in just a moment. Welcome to week 3 of now I just let me here we are. I wanted to make sure we were on the same page. This is week 3 of the 10-minute drawing meditation. And I want to welcome you here once again. If this is your first time joining us, then we have 2 other videos that we have done with our drawing meditation, 10 minutes at a time. And I will place those links in the description. And you can also find the links to the previous videos in my 10-minute drawing meditation playlist on the YouTube channel that you are on right now. In the next 10 minutes, we'll do a simple drawing meditation to help you slow down, focus, and feel more relaxed and inspired. This is session 3 of our June series, Color and Calm, and it's actually a 4-part journey into creativity and mindfulness. We're live on the Yehudit Steinberg Art and Design Studio channel, and I'm Yehudit Steinberg. I'm a CZT, a certified Zentangle teacher with a master's degree in community adult learning and education. With many years of experience in meditative drawing, movement, and expressive arts, my goal is to help you gently reconnect with your creativity. Each session in this series is just 10 minutes because even a few mindful lines at a time can lead to something beautiful. I've marked the 10-minute meditation section in the video after the replay of this live in case you'd like to skip straight to the drawing. That said, I offer some helpful tips and guidance before we begin, so feel free to stay for the full experience. Over the course of 4 sessions, we're creating one layered piece, adding one line and shape at a time. This is where we end up. If you'd like to follow along with the same string that I use, you can download the worksheet in the description below. I also put it in the chat so that you can get a chance to download the string. So before we begin with the supplies, I want to take a moment to remind you where to find the string worksheet and any related links. If you're watching from a computer, you'll see the description area. That's where you'll find links to the worksheet and other helpful resources. If you're watching on your phone or tablet, tap the small arrow or the word more under the video title to open the full description. If you're watching on a smart TV or a Roku device, you won't be able to access the description box directly, but to download the links, just visit the same video on your phone or computer and open the description from there. So the supplies that we're going to use today, all you really need is a pen, a pencil, and this is a little Zentangle pencil, and we'll use this for shading, and a blending tool like this tortillon or a cotton swab or your finger will do, and a small piece of paper. This is a 3.5-inch Zentangle original tile in white. If you'd like to add color later, and we will be next week. I will be doing a demonstration on watercolor pencils and watercolor brushes. Make sure you're using permanent ink like a micron pen. Always test your pen and watercolor combo before adding water or color first, let it dry, and then ink on top. Next week, I'll give you a demonstration of both putting the color down first, which I did on this original, and then on this one that we're working on today, I will add it next week. So show you how to do it if after you've done your tangling that you want to come and add watercolor to the top of it. So before we begin, if this practice feels helpful, I invite you to subscribe, like, and check the description below for upcoming classes and your free drawing guide. All right, let's begin. 10-minute meditation starts now. So the first thing that we do is ground ourselves. We want to ground ourselves in our body and our mind. So we're going to take a moment to settle in. Let your eyes gently close or soften your gaze. Feel your body supported by the chair. Notice your feet resting on the floor. Take a slow, deep breath in. And now gently let it out through the mouth. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Hold it and gently let it out through your mouth. Let your shoulders drop. Soften your jaw. Move your hands. Give them a little bit of a stretch and allow your breath to return to natural, easy rhythm. With each exhale, release just a little more tension. Now, silently set an intention for your time with us today. It could be as simple as I welcome ease. This time is just for me. There's no need to get anything right, no need to fix or perfect. This is about the joy of the moment, one line at a time. So in today's drawing session, we're going to do something a little bit different. Instead of drawing traditional tangles like we did last 2 weeks, we're going to use freestyle doodles, a more intuitive form of mark making. There are no formal step outs today. We'll simply draw what comes to mind in the moment, which means each person's drawing will carry a unique touch of personal style. So we are going to start with one of the spaces. I'm going to start with the space back here. I turn my tile so that it's facing me and that my hand is comfortable. And I'm going to come in a little bit for you and move this off to the side. And you can follow along with me, or you can put whatever comes to mind in this space. So I'm going to start with a little, what I'm going to call a crescent moon. It's a C curve. And I'm also going to take out my larger, I'm working with an 01 here, but I'm going to come into my pens and I'm going to pull up an 02 because it's a little bit bigger lines. And I'm trying to get it out of the pack here. Forgive me for that. So you do you and do the size that you're comfortable with, but these pens have different sizes and they work in different ways. So I made this circle, and now what I'll do is I'm inside it, I'm going to give it I'm going to create a parallel line, and I'm going to call this also an aura. That's what we call it in Zentangle. And then I'm moving out just a little bit, and I'm going to create another C curve. It's going to be kind of large. Follow that curve and come down on the other side. And again, I'm going to come inside and give it a little parallel line and aura. I love these kind of patterns. And I think that what I'm going to do now is I'm going to divide this one. Each time I do this, they're just a little bit different. And so now I'm going to add some ink to it. And I want to get my larger pen again. This time I'm using an 04, and I'm using this art line drawing system. I will link these in the description as well. This is a new set I just got, and has become one of my favorite fine line pens to use in my drawing. So I use the Micron and I use the art line. I also use Unipin, and that I'll show you later, or I will list it in the description. So keeping our 10 minutes, we want to move on. Remember to breathe. I'm going to start at the corner here, and every other one is going to get inked in. Breathing in and out. Skip one. And we've got that done. Now, I have some space here, and I'm not quite sure what I would do with that. Other than add a few what we call orbs. I'll also give this a little bit of a inking here in the corner, and then just put some orbs in here where there's a space. I'll give it a little bit of an ink, and I'll go to the other side. I'll give a little bit of inking to round that corner a little bit. Remember to breathe. And I'm going to ink up here. So I've just done the that space. Now let's come out. We have this big space here. So what will we do? I'm going to start with, there's actually a tangle that in Zentangle we call printemps, but it's a spiral, and I use spirals a lot in my drawing. They symbolize life and the movement of our process, and are used in many traditions and many ancient traditions as well. You'll see them on cave painting walls. So I have a spiral, and then I'm like, I have some stuff to do on the side. What could I do? Well, Maria always says, if you don't know what to do, give it an aura. So we're going to do like we did before and just give it a little aura on each side. It looks like I'm going to follow it down. Now this got a little bit thick, but I don't worry about it because when we come back in with some color and shading over it, it will be just fine. If your lines are wiggly, don't worry about it. See, not a perfect line. This is not about perfection. Now we have one more space that we're going to fill in today. And I'm looking I'm looking at what I did before and see this is quite different. I think I'm going to repeat one of these that we did last time, do a square one. So I'm going to start in the middle here. But you do what comes to your mind. This is kind of a free space, and it depends on what your this space looks like for you. And I'm going to give it a little bit of contrast and ink it in. So now we've come to the end of inking in our tile, our drawing. And what's really I'm going to do a little bit of shading today. And although if you're planning on putting color on top, I wouldn't do the shading today. So I think I will hold off on the shading, but if you're not coloring, I put shading on the to kind of the edges here and the edges here and here, and then use my blending stump. But I will show you more of that next week, because if I put this in this week and I come back in and demonstrate to you using the watercolor pencils, then it's going to all smear. So I will forego that. But what I will do is check over. Oh, there is one thing that I didn't show you what I did. Okay, so around the outside, you can do a few things to finish off a drawing. One of them is that you could take you could outline very closely and carefully this entire drawing. Now I'm not going to go all the way around because I'm rushing and I don't want to do that. But I'm going to come in here, and the next step that I did was I put little orbs all the way around. So, and then I do like to curve my corners here and give them a little bit of an ink. That helps it stand out. And so you would continue this all the way around, go all the way around, and it will look like this when you're finished. And the other thing is to come back in here and into this perk and just clean up that ink. Now make sure you're using a permanent marker if you want to add color to this after this. And I will demonstrate that next week in our live. I will put the links to the tools that I'm using in this live and next week. So you see what I'm doing? I'm inking this in, and I will do all of these. So you do all of those. Let me show you the watercolor pencils that I use. This is Faber-Castell. I don't speak German, so I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. This is a cobalt turquoise, which is one of the colors I use. I use this one for shading. I do have a lighter turquoise that I'll be using next week. This is a burnt ochre. And this one is a burnt sienna. So all watercolors are not, watercolor pencils are not the same. Watercolor paints are not the same. If it's artist grade, it's there for a reason. And so let's so what I have found in my experimenting with watercolor pencils, that the Faber-Castell, this brand, and Caran d'Ache are the best watercolor pencils. They have a lot of pigment and they color really well. Some of the other brands do not. So now that we have completed today's drawing, I want you just to take a moment of reflection and take a look at this week's drawing. Take a moment to admire what you've created. This week's drawing is unique, a blend of intuition and structure. Notice how the spontaneous doodles interact with the string from the earlier sessions. You're building something beautiful, layer by layer, with your own creative voice. Let your hand come to rest. Take a soft breath in and out. If you'd like to add some finishing touches, feel free to do so. Now gently ask yourself, what do I feel now? What shifted? Even a little in these 10 minutes. You've created something that didn't exist just moments ago. That's the quiet magic of mindful drawing. Well, that's it for today's short drawing meditation. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions, and share your work either here in our Facebook group, either here in the comments or in our Facebook group, Beginners Zentangle 101, which the link is in the description below. To find the downloads and related resources, rewind for a few minutes of this video where I walked you through exactly where to look for them. If today's practice resonated with you, I invite you to explore more. Check the description below for your free drawing guide, info on upcoming classes and events, a link to our Facebook community where you can share your drawings, ask questions, and connect with others. Thank you for making time for yourself. Be gentle with your creativity, and I'll see you again next Saturday, same time, same place.